People think that entrepreneurship is all about the business.
That's not true. Absolutely not true. Once you know yourself, who you are, what do you want, what you already know within yourself, you will definitely be successful. That I guarantee you.
Hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to another episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about unlocking the fourth dimension, time as your navigator. And with me, I have Dr. Venga, my good friend and mentor, who is going to peel this onion about the fourth dimension with us. Good evening, Dr. Venga.
Good evening, Ikram. Good evening. Hey, Happy New Year. Huh? Happy New Year to you and to the rest of the people that are on this podcast.
Happy New Year.
Have
today,
a good year, wonderful year. Okay. And you know what? Time is going the same way as it did thousands and millions of years ago. It's not running faster. It's the same.
Absolutely.
If you have a lot of things to do, you think time is running away from you. No. It's the same. Speed is the same. Adjusted already.
Correct. Speaking of time and speed of time, I was just going to mention that today is our 61st episode, which means we've been doing this for 5 years already, Dr. Venga, and it doesn't feel like a very, very long time. It feels like it's almost yesterday when we started doing these.
It does, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
We've done it for 5 years already, huh?
Yep.
We're on the 6th year running, huh?
Correct.
I don't know how long I will last, man. Ikram?
I hope it's for a much longer time.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm ready to go anytime.
I know you've told me this a few times. Yeah.
Okay.
So, time, Dr. Venga, just prior to coming on live, you told me something that was a bit of a bombshell, that we see things in 2 dimensions, not 3. We live in a 3D world, but we see things in 2 dimensions. The depth that we actually see is it's basically our brain tricking us, or an adaptation to the way we see things. But in reality, we're seeing things in 2 dimensions.
Just some input, huh? Actually, again, Lana, I do not for once subscribe that all these dimensions were found by the Western world. I don't subscribe to that, lah. But they have defined that there are 11 dimensions.
Right.
As they can possibly define it and ascribe to it. Maybe give it a name or something like that. 11. This is the Western world concept, including 2 very famous Japanese authors also inside it. But I must also tell you that according to the Puranas, the Upanishads, and all that, these dimensions cannot be described.
Right.
So, having said that, let's not dwell onto the 11. Let's deal with something simpler than that.
Yes. So we live in a 3-dimensional world, where everything has a height, a depth, and a width. But we only see in 2 dimensions. The depth is our brains tricking us, or adapting, so we can live in a 3-dimensional world. And then there's the 4th dimension, which we experience, but I don't think anyone thinks about it as the 4th dimension or as a dimension at all, which is time. When I first met you, this was the first conversation we had. You told me that when you're born, time is attached to you, and it only leaves you when you die, when you leave this world, right? So it becomes an integral part of who you are. That fourth dimension, and the fact that we don't understand this fourth dimension or give it enough uh, attention, as you rightly pointed out 2 days ago, is the cause for much of our uneasiness and our inability to cope with things in the world.
That's correct.
Why did you say that, Dr. Vinga?
Okay, let me start off by trying to explain to all our people who are present here tonight, Lana. And that is that we, as a human, we identify with the two dimension, as Ikra mentioned just now. Very easy, okay? But the third dimension is there. But in the last 100 years, our mind has been able to perceive that, understand the third dimension. So we speak very loosely and said the three dimension we talk about. Let me give you an example. When they made the movie called Avatar, I know all of us went and saw it, including me, Lana. Avatar. They gave us a glass to wear during the movie, the glass.
Correct.
Okay. The reason why they gave us the glass is because when you see the picture on the screen, it'll be 2 dimension. But the moment you wore the glass, you see them in 3 dimension.
That's right.
But this is because the brain understood it, but it never experienced it until we went to Avatar. That's why they found that Avatar movie was such a, by the way, Avatar is Indian, you know that, huh?
Right, yes.
The whole movie also Indian, you know that, okay? Anyway, because we saw that the Hollywood, as usual, how to make more money, no? They created more and more film using the 3D, but somehow or other it's too expensive. People did not want to watch it. I don't know the reason why. But so we are familiar with the third dimension, which is that we can see the 3D thing. So you call the breadth, the width, and the height. That's the 3 dimension. The fourth dimension is space and time together. Time is part of space. So if you look at the space, it is endless, isn't it?
That's right.
Can you see the end?
No.
So we use a calculation, mathematical calculation, to determine the distance of the sun, distance of the moon, all sorts of things, using time and space together. Now, time in itself is the sun coming up and sun going down, darkness and lightness and all that. That our brain understands, meaning the night, the day, and all that. But it doesn't understand that we have not accepted as a concept, accepted it as something very real, like the 3 dimension. We do not put emphasis on time. And that's why time is cyclic. It's always cyclic. Clocks are always cycle. It was not until the 20th century when people made clock in 4, square. Everyone got round. The time is moving roundward. This you must give credit to the Western people, the Western. They took the circular time and stretched it to 24 hours. And then they did the same thing with the calendar. They took the lunar calendar and stretched it and said, hey, 1st of January, 31st of December, and then made it a straight line like that. So then they took this time and say, hey, during this period, this must be done, that must be done, this what the 4 seasons fall into place. And then they took the time every day, 24 hours, and say 8 hours you sleep, 8 hours you work, 8 hours you do what you want to do for yourself. 8, 8, 8. You understand or not? And because of that, they try to make the Western people think, hey, I got only 1 hour to do this. I got 2 hours to do this. They made them pay attention to, or in a way, like the Indians will say, raise your conscious level to time, which the white people were able to do that. I don't know whether you know this or not, Ikram. Until you have heard of this, huh? Wars were fought in India only from sunup to sundown. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I've heard of this.
You heard, huh? It's a fact, no? And in the night, they all sat together. Both the team will come together, cook and all of them will sit and eat. After killing all their people, no? They'll sit and eat together. But they only will fight when the sun comes up and the sun goes down. Sounds a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they were fought between soldiers and soldiers. The women were there cooking and all the rest of it. They bury, they burn, whatever they do, kill all the patients. They clean all that up and still continued until whatever the issue was settled. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
This was how they treated time. But the Western concept is different. The more, okay, let me not go into that, okay? So from the very beginning, these time and space came together, and humans in our time, Ikram, cannot understand and, like the 3D, make it part of their life. That's why we can very easily say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it afterward. Okay, I'll finish the job. Or you delegate as soon as ASAP. Whereas in the Western concept, give me a time, give me a date.
Right.
So they have understood the importance of time. We have not. That's why, Ikram, we work very late. We think we are working very late. We think we are spending so much of time at work. No. None of that rubbish. You are wasting a lot of your time. You have no idea of time. And this I can tell you with concrete evidence, which I've collected over the last 64 years. And tell you, Ikram, that very, very, very few people understand the concept of time. Because it's linked to space. We can see space, but we cannot see time. Space along the way, right? But without time, space don't exist. And without space, time don't exist. It's together.
That's right.
4th dimension. And what we need to understand is, hey, I got to become aware of this time. My mind must accept it. That's why when I designed the system completely about the daily schedule, the monthly schedule, the monthly action that you got to do, the review you must do, the goals you must set, the responsibility you must put in, I learned all this through time. Through time. I'll speak about it later that way. But first, we must understand that this dimension, which is time and space, is not even a, by the way, Ikram, the word theory can be used for the third and the fourth dimension. It's a theory. Because what you can measure is the width and the breadth.
Correct.
Correct? It's a theory. Now, but you have accepted the theory in the 3 dimension. Like that, you must also accept the theory of time and space as one of the elements. If you want to be productive, you want to be successful, you want to really, really enjoy life, this you must understand. If not, we will just move along like the turtle. No?
Right. Right.
Okay, Ikram, let me very quickly relate something to you. How come a tortoise, slightly as the size of my thumb, where it was born from the egg of it goes back to the same place to lay its egg? How does it know? It travels around the world, How does it know? The turtle understands time and space. Surprises me. I think, I'm guessing, the turtle probably can see 4 dimensions. No? I'm just guessing. I do not know. I'm not a marine biologist, but probably they have better idea. A whale can understand time. The big whales, Yes or not? I don't know. I'm just guessing. No? Because they understand the space better than us.
Right.
Correct or not? So you see, actually human is stupid, no? Not so clever. This, this little thing called time and space, we are not consciously using it. No? If we use it consciously, we will not spend more than 8 hours a day. Regardless whether you are in the construction business or you're a 24-hour job or repairing a pipe or do any nonsense, okay? Because you are not conscious of time and space. The purpose that I agreed to do this program with you, Ikram, is the beginning of 2024. This should be the time for you to sit down and realize that you should understand not only the 3rd dimension, better get that polished properly, and then the 4th dimension, time and space. And then you will become very, very effective. The reason is like that, Ikram. I must tell you this, no? Because I've said it now, I must tell you. Look at me. Look at as a human, no? Okay? That is, do I realize time is important? Do I realize it?
As a human or as Dr. Venga?
As me, as a Venga.
I think you do. You do.
I
realize.
do. Yes, I do. I realize it because time has no beginning, no end. Is that right?
That's right.
That's the first thing I realized. It's coming back every day, but there's no beginning, there's no end. That's one thing. Neither can time create or destroy. Yes or not?
Right.
Is that correct, Ikram?
Yep.
Tell me you understand that.
I do.
But humans can destroy, can or not?
Can.
So who is destroying? Time is destroying it, or you are destroying it?
Me. I am.
You, the human, right?
Correct.
And then we blame it on what? On other things, right or not?
That's right.
So you see, because no beginning, no end, it cannot destroy, neither can it create time. Yes or not? But the only dimension that gives life is time. Yes or not?
That's right.
It comes to us and then it leaves us. Yes or not?
Yep.
From a flower to an empire, it needs time, right?
Correct.
So it's such an important thing, yet we don't pay attention to it. Why?
I think we're just oblivious to it as a fourth dimension in
We
our lives.
I think in theory, we are not internalizing it. We don't internalize it. But here's a difference, Ikram. How come the women can recognize it? Do you know all women are more conscious of time?
No.
It's a cycle.
No.
It is a cycle. Yes or not? Their monthly cycle, Ikram.
Right. Right.
Isn't it?
Yep.
It flows with the moon, you know. Correct or not? Think about it. In fact, yes, this is scientific, huh? No, nothing. The women, they have this. Men don't have. They have, but they don't understand. No? So the first thing that I learned, he taught me, no? Time taught me about life,
Mm-hmm.
the value of life. And the value of life taught me the importance of time. I am so glad that I never went to school. And because I did not go to school, I value time as life and time as life. Life as time and time as life. It sank in very quickly with me. The second thing it taught me, Ikram, responsibility. Time taught me that. Life did not teach me that. Time taught me that.
Mm-hmm.
You see or not? Because I did it over and over again and recognized it was not inside me. Responsibility was not injected into me. My father and mother, when they gave me 2 cells, you know, they did not write the word responsibility into the cell. But time taught me responsibility.
Right. Right.
You understand? It also taught me the harshness of life. How difficult life was. Time taught me that. The difficulty I went through, the seriousness of, and the war, all the thing I went through, it taught me time. Time taught me that. Life didn't teach me that. It was time. And with life, you know, so I can't separate life and time. That's why I always say time is life, life is time. It also taught me to become remorse, being gratitude, realize what you have. Pay attention to what you have. Don't worry about what other people have. What you have. Look after it. It taught me all that. Take care of the people that are with you. And that's why, Ikram, I appreciate the fact that my son, Mahin, passed away and the problem he went through. It was a lesson to teach me also. I learned from that. And then people who did not understand me, okay, realized at some point in life or not, they realized it, how foolish they were in thinking that I thought I was better than them. No, I am never better than anybody. Everybody is better than me. But you must come to realize that you are not the be all. There are people, everybody is clever in their own little way. Once you accept that, then you begin to sink in with time. Correct or not?
That's right.
Okay. Now, you see, Ikram, we don't even understand the concept. See, without time, you won't exist. Time don't control us. But with time, you know how much time you have. Or at least you think you know. Huh?
Yeah.
You understand now? So you see, time is a very, very fantastic thing. Huh? It just comes and goes. It was there when my great grandfather came all the way from India in 1844. Okay, I think he was taken to Andaman's Island, and from there he escaped and came here. Okay, from that, and before that too, no. But no one can control it. No one can touch it. Every moment of the day, okay, we do routine thing. You call ourselves habit, activities that we do. We eat a meal, all that. Bowel move, all that is happening because of time, isn't it?
Correct.
So therefore, in a way, time inside you controls all that. Correct or not? So again, you see, time, although you cannot touch it, cannot measure it, yet it's there.
Correct.
So how do I recognize it? The only way is to understand that time and space is the fourth dimension of life. And the more you accept it, first you must accept the third one, and remember Avatar. without the glass. Hey, by the way, Ikram, you know that certain animals can see 3 dimension. You know that?
No, I'm not aware of that. I know some animals are colorblind, but dimensions, no.
This is what anthropologists and all that are saying. They may, although they have not become animal to know whether they can see or not, by experiment. No? One thing, Ikram, look at a tree. Any tree for that matter. It got no eyes,
Correct.
It has no ear, right?
That's right.
It's no smell, right?
Yep.
A tree can't talk, right?
Absolutely.
How come it can grow from an empty one seed, one bird drop? Inside the seed is empty, How come? It's amazing, right?
Indeed.
And yet this thing that becomes a tree produces oxygen. How is that possible? It knows how to put the root, If the soil is not so good, and the tree is sinking like that, the fellow knows how to put the root and catch that side, and can do that, right? Can or not?
Yeah, can.
It has the ability, right? So we think a plant can't think. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that they can't think. I think my house is a good example of it. I've shown you the plant, remember, in my house? How that, okay? The palm tree, falling down, but never fall down, but suddenly it turn around. Now it's going up again.
Right.
So
right. Yeah.
There must be some kind of intelligence within these plants. Okay. Now then, you take time as an example. What is that? What can I get? What value can I get from this time? First of all, I must understand that life and time is one and the same.
That's right.
And the first thing you recognize is, hey, time is more important than money. Is that yes or no?
But for me, it's a yes.
Yes, isn't it? Time is more important than money, right?
That's right.
Because when you lose money, you can get it back. But when you lose time, can you get it back? Cannot, isn't it? Yet it is in front of us, huh? And yet we can't recognize it. Why?
Is it because we don't pay attention to it?
Yes, you're right. Kram, absolutely right. We are not paying enough attention to this fourth dimension, time and space. And because of that, we lose our perspective of time goes away. Okay. Now again, time is so precious. Okay. But humans does not value it, does not use it wisely. Isn't it? You
Yep.
see this happening all the time, right?
Correct.
Look at this. When they are in love, they are, I must see my girlfriend. I must see my boyfriend, right?
Yep.
Once you're married,
It fades.
why?
Time? I'm just guessing.
See, they don't pay attention to this human, another human that came together, no? Remorse. You don't understand. There's a reason why you got together.
Right.
Okay. We have no discipline against time. We just take it for granted. And we think time is restrictive. No, it's not. It's not. You are the one that's creating all this problem and issues. Now, how come? Okay, I can say one thing, Ikram. Time is very precious. It's priceless, no? Because you will live once. Only once. No more than once. Okay. Have you known of anybody who have come back from death?
Nope. None.
Illusion, stories got, no? Time. Once only. It's so precious, you will never come back. But we use time to earn money, right?
That's right.
But we earn money for what?
To get more time.
Is it? Is it? Think about it. We earn money because we want to live a good life. So what is a good life have to be defined, isn't it?
That's right.
I mean, wearing a bikini and going to beach is a good time. I don't know, no?
For some, perhaps.
You see, the Western world has created this illusion about holiday and wearing bikini and running around the beach and all that. Okay? We as humans must understand that time is very precious, that we got to use it well. That means we must have time for our family. We must have time for our children. We must have time for whatever we created. We created it. The marriage is created by you, isn't it?
Yep, that's right.
Tell me of one thing that is more precious than time. One thing. And the answer is none.
None. I can't think of any.
It is so precious and yet we don't pay attention. Why?
Because it keeps getting replenished every day. You
Yes,
24 hours.
right. Tomorrow, that tomorrow. Today is not so important as I'll do it tomorrow. Illusion. That's why when we did the subject some time ago, reality, remember the subject we did, reality?
Yep.
You remember?
Yes,
And
I
it
do.
was a tough subject, remember? What is reality? Nothing is real. Everything is an illusion. Time is an illusion. Yes, correct. The third dimension is also an illusion. To understand that third illusion thing, if you remove the 3D glass, then you see 2D. Then you put, different. Then you understand it. So Ikram, no? The fourth dimension is an area that need to be explored by the individual, find a way to understand it, make sure that, whatever you wanted to do, get done, no? Whatever they may be. Let me give you some quick example. No? If you think your mother or father is getting old, your sister or brother is getting old, and you felt that you have not seen them, allocate some time and go and see them. Should you or should you not do that, Ikram?
You should.
Should, isn't it? Whatever is important to you, you must allocate time and get it done, right or not?
That's right.
Otherwise, you'll just move on. No?
Correct.
That's why, let me say this, like Ikram, very, very crucial that the tools that I developed, no? The writing, the goal process, and the review, the three things I created, right? Goal process and review. The review is clearly the most important part, because every time you review, you begin to look at the fourth dimension. Because you are recording and looking at what had happened. Isn't it, Ikram? When
Correct.
you do the review, you're looking at what you have done and how you can make it better.
Yep.
Isn't it? How to improve it, isn't it?
That's
So
right.
you are going backward in time and then coming to the present and then deciding for the future. Then the concept of the fourth dimension, time, becomes a reality to you. Because why? You've gone to the past, you come to the present, and you go to the future. You can do three things at the same time. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. It does. Venga, we've got a few more minutes, 3 minutes to be exact. So you've explained to us very nicely what about the importance of time, paying attention and focus to it. How do we translate what we are hearing today into action? Like, how do we start appreciating this fourth dimension and helping us navigate?
For me, it's the self-realization, the one word. You must realize that you are the result of whatever you are doing. No? That self-realization must be activated. Like the 3D, when you wore it, you saw the 3 dimension in the screen. The moment you remove it, you saw 2 dimension. That's a reality. Either you see or you don't see. So in order for you to improve, that's the part that you must recognize. You cannot say, I put it into Google, I put it into Outlook, all that. Good theory, good concept. But you, the human, the you, the Venga, you, the Ikram, must take all of it and get it done. And for especially position that like what you hold in Ikram, the position that you hold, Ikram, Whatever you delegate to people to do must be followed up, and you must follow through. Otherwise, you lose.
Right.
Because a lot of people promise you and have not delivered.
Mm.
Because why? You didn't do your part. Once they have
Which is
not delivered,
follow through.
once they have not delivered, they think you can't remember.
Mm.
It'll be the second time they'll do it, the third time, and then it's become a routine already. So my point is, you must realize it. That, to me, is the key. Because you must understand that, time is not a physical entity. Can you measure time? Cannot. You can only look at what you have done with time. That you can look at the past only. And you can go to the future. That's what I want to do. But what you do, time doesn't control you. Does time sit on the table and boom, Venga, do this? Does he tell you that?
No. No.
It's you that must make it. You understand? I'm making a joke of it, but it's like that, no? Time won't tell you what to do. You'll just move on. Hey, Sarah, whatever will be, shall be.
Right.
That's why, Ikram. Actually, it's amazing, that throughout the world, people don't pay much attention to the fourth dimension. That's why time, when they begin to understand it, it means something to them, they'll make it happen.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Venga, we've come to the end of our time for today. To our viewers out there, I hope you've enjoyed this episode talking about giving you a different perspective on time. We always talk about time as something remote. It's something you have to manage. Dr. Venga has made it very clear to me, and I think in this episodes as well, that you cannot manage time. The only thing you can manage is yourself. But we always see time as this foreign concept, this something that's far removed from us. But looking at it as part of your existence, as the fourth dimension of your existence, I think that adds some weight to the fact that it is very, very important to become aware of our time and to value time as the most important currency for us.
That's true.
With that, yes,
Let me
thank you
just
very
say
much.
one more thing.
Sure.
Let me just say one more thing. See, when you tell a friend, meet me in Starbucks in Pearl International, okay? But also you tell the person, meet me in Starbucks Pearl International, and then you say at 6 p.m. You see that?
Right.
So you're already combining the two elements of the place and the location and time. But you don't pay attention.
That's right.
So
You're right. Thank you very much and have a good night. Hope you've enjoyed this episode again. Our next episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs is happening on the 7th of February. That's the first Wednesday at 8 p.m. The first Wednesday of the month at 8 p.m. as usual. Happy New Year again and have a great month.
thank you. Happy New Year too.